Support the men and women of the Heightened Crimes Investigation Unit today by visiting patreon.com/terriblewarriors. In the criminal justice system, crimes committed by or against superpowered individuals are considered especially problematic. In Edmonton, Canada, the dedicated detectives who investigate these strange felonies are members of an elite squad known as the Heightened Crimes Investigation Unit. These are their stories. These are the Terrible Warriors.
Welcome back, terrible listeners. I'm Derek Bard from Chasing the Muse, and I am your GM for this, the fourth and final session of the Edmonton Crew's Mutant City Blues game. And I am joined here by my terrible mutant detectives. From my left,
Jesse playing Kleptomaniac. The joke is, it sounds like kleptomania.
that's a Carmen Sandiego level alias right there.
Shane Fitzgerald of Circuit 42, playing Detective Floyd, entirely too advanced in my years for this excremental nonsense Burrow.
Is that like half a drink on the established drinking game? You haven't said I'm too old for this shit in like 2 episodes.
Now, just finish your damn drink.
It's Will Mitchell here, playing Amos Richardson.
And Cameron Dunn of Violet Brick Gaming, playing as Paul Payne, Spider Cop. And that's the last time I'm going to say that.
No, you're not. That's amazing. That's the name of the comic book that you're in.
Yes. Also, you gotta say it in-game at least once.
Yeah.
That's true.
Who are you? I'm Paul Payne, Spider Cop.
As I'm like,
It's
over
like
top of the guy's like dying body.
It's like Peter Porker, the Amazing Spider-Ham.
Oh, God.
So, when last we left off, you were going to go see the Toad.
We're gonna go see the Toad, and we ticked off the evidence guys and gave them a bunch of busy work. But the Toad is our main lead.
Yeah. So you go to see the Toad. The Toad, whose real name I never even wrote down in the notes because he's just the Toad. He runs a quote-unquote pet shop.
Yeah.
You know what? For lack of a better location, because I just don't care anymore, it's the pet shop in Bonnie Doon.
Oh!
Does he smuggle cocaine in dog stomachs or something?
Please, instead of live rats for snakes.
Yeah.
He doesn't have rats anymore. Jared Leto bought them all.
But you also can't get rats in Alberta.
Actually, I don't know. I've seen pet stores that sold rats.
In Alberta?
Yeah, apparently.
Really? Ooh.
They may just have been
not
large
one
mice that they
I was gonna
relabeled.
say that-
I want to be clear that this is the same pet store that had the sign "Good Dogs" above cages with lizards in them. So I'm not entirely sure they understand how species works.
Gotcha. Well, apologies to that pet shop if somebody from the Department of Agriculture listens to this.
So
The Rat Patrol will get you.
So yeah, Bonnie Doon is a shopping center. Has every shopping center in Edmonton is. It only has 1 floor,
Yeah.
and its primary features are a seniors buffet restaurant, and
Sears Warehouse.
Sears Warehouse, and that gaming store I go to play Malaphone every once in a while.
Yep. Oh, they also have like the
Shout out to All Star.
They've got like the only perfume shop I've ever seen.
Hi.
Yeah, and an HMV right next to a used CD and DVD store. I think we're painting a really good picture of this place at this point.
That's pretty accurate. Yeah.
And there's a Safeway.
Also, for reference, Bonnie Doon is my wife's favorite place in the world.
Oh.
We're sorry, Molly.
Yeah. Her taste in malls is much like her taste in men. Questionable. All right. So I believe we have a drug dealer to go interrogate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, we just roll into the place, I suppose.
Yep. Show your badges. Ask to. You're like, we don't even care about his last name. We want to talk to the Toad.
Yeah.
He's in the office. Says the very surprised, intimidated-looking girl at the counter.
She's like, minimum wage is not worth it.
She's like, I'm 17. I've got 1 more year left of high school. I am just here for minimum wage. Go do your thing. I don't care.
I'm here to stare at puppies all day.
Yeah. I got this job so I could feed puppies, kittens, and bunnies all day.
And now she wants out because part of working at a regular pet store is just throwing out bags of dead journals.
Yeah, a little bit.
Birds as well.
And birds and stuff.
Yeah.
It gets sad. Her life, we're not going to mess with her. Let's go straight to the office.
Yep. And it's literally just sort of an alcove in the back. It's not much of an office. It's like part stock room.
Of course.
They're cubicle partitions to make it its own thing.
Nice. Does he see us coming?
Well, there's not really any way that he couldn't.
Well,
There's
he could
one
up
door
or
in
down.
and one door out the back.
All right.
And the bed door at the back hasn't been used yet.
No.
Okay, great.
Toad.
And the toad is kind of lives up to his name. He is short. He is fat in a very, very droopy fat kind of way. His eyes are kind of bulgy.
Perhaps has a wart somewhere.
Dresses nice and hangs out with a guy named Frog.
He wears a tracksuit.
Oh, nice.
Once again, because of course he does.
Of course he does, and he squats all the time. I love this. Okay, this is great. Beautiful.
And he's just sitting at a desk. He's on the internet. And he looks like he's just on, like, Craigslist or something.
Nice.
No, wait, it's Canada. He's on Kijiji.
Oh, yes.
Definitely on Kijiji.
Definitely.
Looking around the place, is there like a number of like art pieces that don't belong here that he's probably using to smuggle drugs via sales on Kijiji?
Not really.
Okay, so then he's doing the literal drug mule thing and probably is putting them in the pets.
Ew.
Giving away his secret, man.
So he looks up as you guys open the door.
And is nervous and
Oh, yeah, he knows who you guys are.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's probably
I'm
seen
still
me
in
before
uniform.
multiple times.
What do you guys want? I didn't do nothing.
Bullshit detector.
Yeah, you did a lot of things, but not the things we're looking for.
Yeah.
We're not saying that you did. But we are certainly curious what you know about one...
He's got one hand hovering over his phone.
We'd like to know what you know about Stanley McDougal.
I don't know that name.
And I'm going to think back to like some of the like usernames on forums.
It's entirely possible he's just lying to you.
Oh, of course. I only have a bullshit detector of one.
One is enough.
Beep, 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 beep. Bullshit detector.
Who's the one who doesn't deal in their names?
Did you actually just say that to him?
What did they reference?
No, of course
What did they
not.
refer to each other as in their text exchange?
There are no text exchanges. Like, there's no written account of their relationship.
Of course.
Okay, but there's just you said one of his
Phone
numbers.
calls.
They were phone calls.
So people still make phone calls.
Sorry,
Bill.
I'm thoroughly enmeshed in the internet and forget that sometimes. Okay. So, oh God, yeah.
So, yeah, Shane, you have the highest bullshit detector. Oh, yeah, God, yeah, he's bullshitting you.
Of course he is.
Do you want to spend a point of bullshit detector? Because there is additional information you can get from this.
Yeah, sure.
The name raises immediate alarm bells with him. Not just, oh my God, the cops are asking me about one of my clients. It's, oh my God, the cops are asking me about that client.
Well, I can already tell. As soon as we said that name, you knew exactly who we were talking about. And he is apparently of great importance to you.
The eyes look side to side. You also, one big thing on his desk, though, there is a terrarium. There is a giant bullfrog in it. And it's linked to he's got a whole, little aquatic part of the desk that's, a whole part of the desk is just replaced with, this water tank with stuff in it. And, this extended little portion for the bullfrog to jump out if it wants to be out of the tank.
That's actually pretty cool.
He can control amphibians, right?
Yeah, you can
Okay,
absolutely.
that's his thing.
Be aware of that.
Oh, no, you're just staring at me. It's like, he can control amphibians, right? Yeah, that's just his thing. He's just looking at you guys like,
Yeah.
okay, what do I have to do to get you guys out of here?
Just cooperate, answer a couple of questions truthfully.
I want immunity.
But at this point, I'd like
I do not want to be prosecuted for anything I might say.
to, at this point, I'd like to try flirting with Toad.
You fail.
There's nothing to
Not
flirt
even a
about.
roll? Oh my gosh.
I was gonna say I don't think success on that would be better than failure.
Information. Is
I
power.
repeat, remember that one of his powers is venomous spit.
To recap, due to red spandex, due to blue spandex, toad-looking guy.
I think you meant the toad on the table.
Not at the toad on the table.
See, when I gave him that investigative ability, I intended that he use it to, like, flirt with witnesses. or like, try and find... use it to just, like, find some specific... find witnesses I hadn't necessarily mentioned, or something. It's like, nope, I'm gonna flirt with the with the superheroes and the drug dealer, who I'm not even sure I can call a supervillain.
Yeah, it's just kind of a scumbag.
Clep's a lonely guy. Come on.
Really, we just want to know about your relationship with Stanley McDougal. That'll get us out of here.
Immunity. Just
What if we were just having a casual conversation?
off the record?
Yes.
Because I got my lawyer on speed dial right here.
I understand that.
I just look at him and say, what record?
The very same record that would have known that this African bolted frog is absolutely illegal to possess in Canada.
Takes his hand away from the phone. Yeah, I knew Stanley. He liked to go out and party a bit. So, I slipped him a little something every once in a while, and he was good for it.
Mm-hmm.
Uncomfortable silence as you stare at him. He's sweating. He's sweating bullets. To be fair, looking vaguely greasy and sweaty is kind of his standard appearance. So.
Yeah, we don't even need bullshit detection
No.
at this point.
But he's also cooperating, so there's no need to
Yeah.
necessarily dig into him yet.
I was wondering if I could make use of my streetwise in this situation.
So what prompted you to...
You know what? I'll tell you what. I need protection. You know what? I'll tell you about Stanley, and he just seemed to make up his mind. He's like, I need protection.
On the condition that you let us... On the condition you clarify from whom you believe you need this protection.
Oh, okay, so...
Because a person like you may have multiple...
let's just say that, hypothetically speaking, Stanley was doing some things on the side that he really shouldn't have. And that maybe his conscience caught up with him after a while. And that... maybe he was supplying some things to me that I was then supplying back to him.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe there was some other stuff. And maybe they were involved with some very, very dangerous people from a certain criminal organization that I won't name until you guarantee me protection. Okay, for the radio audience at home.
Will just looked at me, I looked at him, and that really led to nothing.
It was a significant look of... Okay.
Yeah. The kind of look you give before an R2 unit shoots a lightsaber out of its head.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nerd audience, come on.
Give you anything? Other than...
Yeah, he did actually.
A great deal of what's putting you in danger now is what he gave you. If you could give it to us, we could put into motion the necessary processing of finding some protection. We cannot guarantee total immunity, but your lifestyle as it stands wouldn't necessarily be that much different.
Okay. So he opens up a drawer in the desk, and he takes out it's a pencil sharpener in the shape of a frog.
Cute.
And he takes the pencil sharpener portion out of the bottom of the frog, and inside the frog itself looks like there's a little tiny hollow compartment that the pencil sharpener piece hides. Normally they just fill up with pencil shavings.
Yeah.
And he takes out a little memory card.
Thank you very much for your cooperation. Detective, I'll start processing the necessary paperwork to ensure that you get what you need.
That's fine. Thank you for your cooperation, sir.
Wait. What about my protection? Like, right now? Like...
Well, if you come with us, that would be the first step.
Precisely.
He seems to think of... Okay.
Now, what is... Do you have a... How clear, present, and current is the danger you believe you're in? Have you seen individuals or been approached or...
Well...
Also...
Let's just say that hypothetically speaking, a certain person working for a certain criminal organization who shall remain nameless for the time being, till I'm safely under protection, might go under the street name of the Silencer, and I'm just going to check who has the highest streetwise here. That would be a tie. I'm going to give it to Jesse. You've heard of the Silencer before. He is a self-styled professional supervillain, which is another way of saying he's a hitman with superpowers. Nobody knows what he looks like. It's known that he has... nobody knows exactly what his power set is. They can guess kind of where he probably sits on the Quaid diagram, but he has a habit of not always leaving his victims in a state. The problem is, when it comes to superpower killings, there are times when they think it's the Silencer, but they don't know for sure.
Yeah. As we begin discussing things...
he's
got a...
Shane, sorry, when he mentions that, when Jesse mentions that information, twigs with you, you're pretty sure the Silencer is connected largely to the Russian mob.
Fair enough.
This group. As this is going on, it's a desk. There's a phone on the desk. Richardson is going to unplug it. And
just
check it for that
as
bug.
they're walking away with him, you ripping apart the phone.
Just quickly, just disassemble
It's bugged.
Yeah. We need to go quickly.
The rest of you can feel free to add things to this. It's getting late at night. Everyone's getting a bit tired.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you take him back to your car.
And like Richardson's gonna catch up and be like, yeah, just sort of like surreptitiously,
Just like wave it.
just like, oh look, a tiger salamander. I'm hoping that the toad will look, and then.
Okay.
All right.
You take him back to the station. He goes willingly.
We begin processing protection for him. Because he has been a cooperative informant.
And you
yeah.
got the last piece of the puzzle.
Now let's put it in the computer and find out what's going on.
Encrypt.
So it looks like good old Stanley was involved in not just drug trafficking. It definitely looks like... incidentally, at the same time, you get some calls from the forensic accountants. Mm-hmm. He was getting some very, very large sums of money put into his account alongside his paychecks. And, however, the documents aren't necessarily dealing with the drug running. The drug running is, like, minor to the side.
Yeah, drug running is what he does for fun.
No, the drug running is part of it. The mutant bone marrow trafficking, however, is a far larger part of it.
That's what those tests were. A lot of needles.
A lot of needles.
No.
And it's known that occasionally mutant blood transfusions and mutant bone transfusions
Give you power.
have been known to give people powers. They've also been known to give sudden people a sudden explosive death syndrome,
Oh, no.
which is, as noted, transmitted through bodily fluids.
So he finally got guilty about probably blowing up a bunch of like hopeful rich people.
Entirely possible.
Gotcha. And then he tries to get out. The nefarious people he was working with are not so keen on him getting out. They blow him up, probably with the silencer.
Yeah.
All right. Now we gotta get a hold of the silencer.
Won't be
And
hard when we get too involved in this.
he's definitely included some notes that at the end of it, there's like a text file that's practically just a written confession.
Right.
That like he's relatively sure that they're coming after him, but he spread the information around his insurance, and that he thinks he knows that he thinks that they've got someone after him, but they're not sure who. He thinks they might be involved with Justice 2000.
So somebody in Justice 2000 may in fact be the silencer.
Okay.
That's a good cover.
It's a great cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great cover. Give you plenty of reasons to be in places that supers are, doing super type things.
Right.
Okay. Okay, so the list of names that were medical files on the computer, were those people that in his confession he mentioned sort of taking bone marrow from? Or were those people that he gave bone marrow to?
Largely, it seems from that he that there looks like he's requisitioned a lot of bone marrow tests, a lot of extraneous blood work, and that he's also been taking the bone marrow out of dead mutant corpses.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Richardson throws up a little. But he does keep a kidney pan in his desk for just this occasion. 10 preparedness, yo.
So,
Oh boy.
is this about the time you're thinking you maybe go bring what you got to the inspector?
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
Give us your report, Shane.
All right. Well, we've definitely determined that that Dr. McDougal was murdered, but it seems to go pretty deep. We discovered that he actually has been taking part in the mutant bone marrow trade, and that his murder was apparently the work of the silencer.
Do you have any suspicions to the silencer's identity?
We're still working on that. We believe he might be hiding in Justice 2000.
Okay, if you're looking at the tree, a couple members of Justice 2000 have flight, so you can certainly narrow it down. A few of them have strength, so you can narrow it down.
Okay.
And at least one of them has Heat Blast, which is the power immediately before Sonic Blast.
Is it red?
Pardon?
Mr. Red or
Is
whatever.
it, that was his name?
No, Mr. Crimson has has lots of fire powers.
But no flight powers.
Red Eagle has
Red Eagle.
flight
Red Eagle.
and strength and heat blast. So
Could be him.
Best shot.
We might want to call him.
Russian mob, Red Eagle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just
I
Red Eagle with
Oh, yeah.
Russian mob.
oh yeah, I would.
That makes
Before we
sense.
actually before this big revelation turned out to be coming in
No one would suspect.
in the fourth episode instead of the third, it was original. Well, I'll talk about it in the debrief. My best laid plans got slightly
I have a
derailed.
feeling I suddenly have a feeling that he might be related to Rocket Red from Spirit of the Century.
Cross-dimensional travel. For that, you need some kind of dimensionally traveling sex train. Go listen to Spirit of the Century and the Expendables. Anyway, so what's your next move going to be then?
Track down the silencer.
And put out a call for Red Eagle.
He's a flyer. He could rabbit if he thinks you're onto him.
I've got this.
We know where he... well, we do know where he... does he go to that gym? Yeah.
He's part of Justice 2000. They all hang out there.
Yeah. Well, we do know where he's likely to show up. It's just a matter of perhaps co-opting some of his fellows.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because
I'm also going to give this to... I'm just going to kind of... There is a tactic. I'm just going to remind you guys of it. I think Cam is probably the one that's going to occur to first. You do have bait. You've got the Toad,
Yeah.
who seems pretty convinced that the silencer is coming for him.
We do.
Yep.
We should bring the Toad to the gym.
That would get beat up by the Blue Justice.
We're trying to narrow it down. Like, everybody in Justice 2000 would be
But
on
it'll keep
this
them
guy.
preoccupied.
Yeah, no. Well, we need to figure out a way to get the Toad back on Red Eagle's radar, and then in a safe, controlled way, be able to take down a flying guy with heat powers and sonic blasts.
Cam,
Yeah.
you do have forensic psychology. So you think over what you kind of know about. I mean, he's a hired killer. It means he obviously has very flexible morality. Might be a sociopath. Might be some ego behind it as well, especially because he's known to be a self-described super criminal. He might not be able to avoid injecting himself into the case if given the correct motivation. You could always appeal to the ego of the people with Justice 2000 and maybe ask, if you were to ask for their assistance with protecting the Toad.
No, that's kind of what I was hoping.
Yeah. I think I relay that to the team. Although I'm sure the Toad's not gonna...
I mean, here's the thing. You guys have a lot of different options on the table. It's really a matter of deciding which one you want to go with. They all have their ups and downs.
Yeah. I mean, on the one hand, if we co-opt the Justice 2000 guys, that then has a bunch of, like, untrained jerks who want to be superheroes who we will inevitably get killed.
There's actually a lot of stuff in the timeline about why vigilantism isn't a big thing in this setting, and it happened that a couple super vigilantes did tend to get themselves shot in the line of duty.
Yeah. It's like, you ain't bulletproof, boom. So, like, that's a problem. Yeah.
I mean,
we could, if we were more selective about it, if it wasn't all of Justice 2000, if we, like, what if we got Blue Justice to call out the silencer?
You would, in that case, risk having a civilian fight a criminal who has proven he is happy to kill on multiple occasions.
Yeah. But I mean, that's not necessarily much worse than using the Toad as bait. We're still putting a civilian in a chance to get murdered. At least this way, Blue Justice would actually be on board with it, whereas the Toad we'd have to manipulate.
true.
Other options. If it's Red Eagle, do we know who Red Eagle is? Do we know his quote-unquote secret identity?
Yes, but there is a good chance it's not real. Then,
Of course, yeah. But he's part of Justice 2000. And Justice 2000 publicizes a lot of shit.
yep,
We could just set up a sting, wait for him to go on patrol, and then, like, as part of our regular cop duties, get talking to him, and then hopefully corner and deal with him.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, like, what if we were to instead take some undercover cops, stage a mugging when we know Justice 2000 is going to be on patrol, Red Eagle goes to stop it, we thank him for his good work, we bring him to the station to give him a medal for whatever, and then we're like, let's interrogate him and treat him properly.
Unless he's too smart.
At least that way, the only people who are at risk are cops, and we can hopefully get him in that way.
Yeah.
And if not, at the very least, it's a chance for us to get more evidence on him so we figure out who he actually is.
And also something like that, we'd also get something like Blue Justice and all that too, and sort of help them coordinate that. Right?
Absolutely, we could have him help arrange that.
So I think that'd be the safest bet with the least collateral damage, least risk, anyways.
It
Right.
tastes like good police work. It's slow and it's methodical.
we were having a conversation in between at the break about whether this was a good police show or a good police comic. And it was noted that we didn't have enough procedural bullshit to make it a good show.
I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think that's a fantastic idea.
I'm down for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works for me.
Okay, so you set the wheel into motion. You have to... takes you a little bit. You got to kiss a bit of ass to... you get some some cops from a few different divisions who are willing to just kind of step in and give a hand to your unstated sting operation that we just need more bodies for.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, hey, so get some undercover guys who are good at looking like regular Joes so that they can be the mugs and the mugger.
The guy who's going to be the mugger is like, you're absolutely sure he's not going to kill me.
In this instance, he's trying to be a superhero, so he should very unlikely kill you. It's most likely he will just try to apprehend you and probably either rough you up or give you over to us. This will be very good for your other undercover work because now you'll have a criminal record. A very publicized one.
He gets signed off on danger pay, so he's basically getting paid like triple for this.
Oh, nice.
And so you set up a sting. So what are you telling Blue Justice?
We've got a lead on the silencer.
I don't think we want to tell him that necessarily.
Okay.
He likes his crew.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, we don't know how. Like
That's true.
we haven't seen anything to establish that the Blue Justice can lie very good, right? Like he knows his limits. He's not going to be a snitch or
That's
nothing. But like, he might be uncomfortable doing this. So it's probably best that we let him not know exactly what we're doing.
Makes sense.
Ultimately, what we want to know where Red Eagle is going to be patrolling.
Okay.
Because we're curious about his methods.
I mean, you could just ask for patrol schedules for like the team over like the next week.
Yeah.
And not specify a member.
That was probably the safest way to do it.
Sense, yeah.
We just want to know where they're going to be and when. Because we're short-staffed, so if you catch anybody, we want to be able to make sure that we have people nearby.
Makes sense.
Okay, yeah. You especially, Jesse, are able to like flatter him with that. And then Shane, you've got lots of reassurance and everything. Right. You are able to convince him to go along with this.
Yeah.
He'll set it up for you. He gets you the schedules, and you're able to see what when Red Eagle is supposed to patrol.
Great. So then it's a matter of just staging a mugging along. Does Red Eagle have particular fans or groupies, or does he stream things, or is he a little bit more quiet?
He's a little more quiet.
Naturally. Silencer. So yeah.
You got to admit, it's a great name for a guy that it completely does not describe any of his powers, including his ability to shoot waves of pure sound at people.
It's pretty great. Okay, so yeah, we set up our fake mugging.
Okay. Yeah, and he's skimming along because he flies on his patrols because it's good to show off that he's got flying powers.
Yeah.
He's dressed in a different red outfit than Mr. Crimson.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes.
Mr. Crimson's very much about the I'm a fire dude.
Yeah.
Red Eagle's more like I like red. He doesn't have a cape, but he's got like flanged boots and glove and gauntlets and stuff.
Nice.
And just like the red domino mask. And his hair has been dyed. It's obviously dyed because first-class mutants are affected by second-class mutations. Has been dyed like candy red.
Oh yeah.
It's
Sporting that Markiplier look.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Now I'm just imagining Markiplier. Okay, well, I'm stating it right now. Red Eagle looks like Markiplier.
Nice.
Love it. Love it.
His real name is Ludwig von Ballenklascher.
And so he sees the mugging, and he's like, stop, villain!
Mm-hmm.
No, halt! And he slowly just comes to a landing. And the couple, quote unquote, are screaming, and the mugger is holding a knife, and and then he kind of hits the mugger, and the mugger kind of goes flying.
Okay.
About 15, 20 feet into a pile of trash.
Yeah.
Remember, super strength.
Super strength.
It's like, wait a minute, we forgot he had super strength.
No, we
crap.
figured he'd rough him up. We didn't think he would necessarily launch him across the road.
Yeah, well...
Shit.
That cop should have put down the knife.
The cop should have put down the
The
knife!
cop should have put down the knife. Quit resisting. Okay.
To be fair, seeing the hourly wage of Edmonton cops, him getting his, like, triple danger pay is amazing.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, assuming he's going to be able to walk again.
You guys' salaries is over $100,000 a year each.
True facts.
I looked at their pay scale. Yeah, and he'll get time off work for, and you'll get shouted at, but...
We're saving a life here.
He might get a little bit of shouting from his union rep about why'd you go along with that bullshit. I wanted money. Legally wanted more money.
Yep.
And you guys pull into the alleyway?
Yeah, we pull up.
Are you, like, boxing him in, kind of? Or is there not feeling much point given that he's a flyer?
Well, yeah, we also want to lure him in.
Yeah.
Right? We want to keep this going for a while.
Yeah.
No.
Because their goal is to get him back to the station.
Yeah, the goal is to get him back to the station where we have more control of everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
If we get him in the building, it's hard for him to fly.
Yeah. Sort of pull up. And like don't even have the lights on, but just like flashlight down the alley, right? To be like, oh, we heard some screams.
Yeah.
And then somebody who can act probably should do that because Richardson can't.
You guys all three of you have fairly decent social skills. Cam's probably the most social of you. Cam's also the one person, if he gets close, who can totally disable him.
Yep, that's why we're sending him in.
So I'm gonna start slowly walking towards him and be like, "Hey, what happened here?"
Oh, you're showing your badge and everything?
Yeah.
Well, officer, I caught that man over there. The mugger's just like, oh, God, my appendix.
Oh, it's not vital.
You never needed that anyway.
Caught that man assaulting these civilians. I was going to call in for a citizen's arrest.
Cool. Nice work there. Actually...
Loose cannon, just fucking possess him and march him into a truck. we got the Muty wagon on standby.
When he stops being possessed, he's got super
But we
strength.
don't know
Muty
yet. We don't know
That's
yet.
what I'm saying, loose cannon. I'm by the book. You guys are supposed to be
How many
assholes.
do we have? I love that our group dynamic is essentially two buddy cop movies at the same time as the same police force. We have two loose cannons and two by the book cops. It's just that one of the by the book cops is even more by the book, and one of the loose cannons is even looser.
We'd actually like to reward you for all the hard work you were doing. If you want to come down to the police station with us.
Well, it's later at night. Would I be able to come tomorrow? I really should help. I really should escort this couple home.
We can get people on that.
And then just like radio it in. Don't even give him a chance.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's just like, right. I'm going to give him a randomized check to see if he actually realizes there's some funky shit going on.
Some bullshit.
Some funky bull
He
shrimp.
may have his own bullshit detector skill.
Oh, he rolled well.
Ah, shit.
He looks at you. He looks at the couple. This is a long pause. Oh. And then he's going to try and fly away.
I'm gonna possess
I'm
him.
gonna brandish my finger gun.
Can I try possessing him?
Yeah, there is, I believe... Yeah, so give me a roll.
Okay.
How many points do you want to spend on your roll?
All of them.
Probably
All of them.
You need to use 4 to give him at least one command, so you want to just blow everything but 4 points on it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so how many points do you have in command? You have 10, 12, something like that?
I have 12 in possession.
So you want to just blow 8 points on it?
Yeah.
So you just throw all your red in there. If it save 4, because if it doesn't work by some...
Incredible miracle.
2.
So you got a 10.
Nice.
Oh no.
He got a 9. So, on the downside, he is completely aware of whatever command you give him, and you've only got enough juice for one command. What are you commanding him to do?
Surrender.
arrest yourself.
Surrender yourself to police custody.
Yeah, surrender yourself to.
Well, it has to be a physical action.
Okay.
Like, you could tell him, like, sit on the ground for an hour, or get into the van, over there while you handcuff him or something like that.
Or just, I'm going to tell him to stay completely motionless.
Or you just have him...
Okay.
Oh,
yep, he is completely able to stay completely motionless.
Great, so he's now hovering, 3 feet off the ground.
Yes.
Shoot him!
No, we got him now.
I remind you, he has not been convicted of a crime.
Exactly, don't shoot him yet. And he's no longer a threat. So, the various...
Cam's eyes glow green when he gives bright neon green when he gives the command, yeah. He has hypnotoad eyes.
Sweet. Somewhere the toad's very happy. He's like, more of my children. So, the various wires... Oh, yeah, he's so cool.
It's terrifying.
All hail.
All hail the hypnotoad.
Actually, while he's subdued, can I just, completely web him up?
Yes, you can. It'll cost you, I'm going to say, how much webbing you got? You got
10.
10? I'm going to say it's going to cost you 6 points of webbing to basically, completely Peter Parker him.
That's what we're going for. Yeah. Just a breathing hole.
Completely cocoon him.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am Spider-Cop.
Nice.
And yes, it does indeed squirt out of his wrists.
Nice. I was wondering. So then, drive up in the Muty wagon, and now he's staying completely still, and he's flying, and he's super strong. Is he super strong when he's flying? Can we push him?
To put it this way, probably your best bet is actually Jesse concussion beaming him into the back of the truck, because the concussion beam exerts a phenomenal amount of force.
Yeah, so that's the thing. We can't just drag him in. We have to act like...
Yeah.
It's like get a bobcat and put chains or concussion blast him.
I want a concussion blast.
Okay.
We're going to have to get... How am I going to get in that position, though?
Do you have a with 3-point turn?
I have to be over him to do that, right?
To be over?
We've got an hour. He's
not
going to
back
stay
down.
still.
You could literally get on top of a garbage can and point it at him.
I was thinking meters for some reason.
No,
okay.
just
right.
feet.
Never mind. It's not an issue. All right.
But is there
so about a meter, eh? We're using metric now because we're in Canada, eh? Instead of switching between metric and imperial, eh?
All right.
Poser.
Do you have a non-lethal way to do this?
Yeah. He can declare it's non-lethal.
Oh, great!
I can do that.
You can declare it subduing. It costs you 2 additional points.
He would have been shooting fucking everything.
I would have been shooting everything if I had
just beanbag
It's
attack.
still a weapon. Do you want to? Okay. Do you want to spend any points in addition to hitting? Because you're still going to have to roll to hit. He can't roll to dodge.
Yeah.
But you still have to roll to hit.
It is
Can I get an idea of how difficult that is?
It's not difficult, but you're trying to do something You're trying to do a fair bit of precision with a not terribly precise power.
Fair enough.
On the upside, you're not going to have to spend anything on a damage bonus.
That's true. That's what I'm thinking.
So you're going to spend 2 points on the.
I'm going to need the concussion black beam him into pain later.
Fair enough.
Yeah, when he breaks out of this and all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, because that's totally happening.
No plan goes this smooth.
Let's go with 5. We're going to play it safe. I'm going to do 5 to do this shot.
Okay, give me a roll.
That is a 1. That's a 6 total.
You needed an 8.
Well, so what happens now?
Utility uses of powers are generally difficulty 8 in this system. I mean, you spent 5. If you'd roll, you had a better than 50% chance of success. So you hit him. It hits him on the side, so it sends him spinning in the air, and it blows. Mainly, what it's going to do is knock him out of the trance that Cam's got him in.
I did not know this.
That's okay.
To be fair, this isn't something you generally do every day.
No,
that is fair.
Every second day, easily.
So I'm going to have to quickly look up what his super strength does.
Oh boy! Quickly call the insects.
Shit.
I'm glad I saved some of my power.
So now you can actually shoot them.
Well, if you'd spent 2 more points of power, you would have succeeded, no matter what you did.
Don't say that. It's not important.
Wait a minute, is the picture for Strength Duke Nukem?
I hope not.
It looks vaguely like Duke Nukem.
It does
Oh
look
my
vaguely.
god, it does.
It does look
Ears are
like
too low.
Yeah, but it's the haircut and the sunglasses.
sort of that best thing.
And athletics checks. Okay. Okie dokie, I'm gonna call this breaking down a steel door unaided.
All right.
We'll see if he can actually use his super strength to break out.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
out of the
Well,
webs.
I did kind of give you guys a super villain. Oh. Yeah. It's gonna take him. It's gonna take him maybe another round or two because he's not flying anywhere because he's really like the webbing bulges and then starts to rip apart.
I would like to use some preparedness.
How many points do you want to spend on that preparedness check?
I would like to spend 3 points, because I have lots of them. I'd like to spend 3 points to win you over to Morrow. I took the liberty of replacing some of your ammunition with a tranquilizer dart gun.
Okay.
No. You.
I need to roll first.
Yeah. Give me a roll.
4 and 3 is 7.
Perfect. You reach into your bag and pass him a tranquilizer gun.
Nice.
I've established a briefcase. Here you go, detective.
Okay,
What's your shooting?
Shane. So what happens is your spatial awareness doesn't give you a bonus to hit; it gives you a bonus to damage.
So he's going to get knocked real out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you want to make a shooting check?
All right.
How many points do you want to spend?
In the sleep center of the brain.
Let's make it 5.
Sure.
Right. So, was it for...
No, that's your power.
Right.
Oh yeah. And spatial awareness. I'll tell you how many you got to spend. I think it actually says on the back of your sheet.
Okay.
No, it doesn't, because I only wrote down the charts for your telekinesis. Because I'm
your
a
teleport.
and your teleport. Because
Both
I'm
of which
a
have been so useful in
Oh,
this
but
game.
can you teleport with weight?
No, we talked about this
Okay.
before the game.
Yeah.
I can only teleport myself.
Okay.
you can
Because otherwise
spend
we'd be teleporting you and him.
Oh,
you
yeah.
spend 2 spatial awareness points. You get a +1 to your damage modifier.
Okay.
So you're spending 5 to shoot. So give me a roll to hit. You only need a 4 to hit.
You still hit.
Okay, cool.
You hit, and then you're going to spend 2 points to get up the damage by +1. So give me a damage roll.
All right.
Let's do this. There.
So,
Okay.
And you did a +2.
Yeah, +1. So
yeah.
okay. You hit him with the dart, but it's going to take a little while to take effect.
Okay.
You don't hit him in a particular. You hit him in the arm with it. It's not in like a major blood, not in a major artery, so it's going to take a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Can I just make like the webbing more gross and hard to get out of by
Yep.
making bugs just swarm into it?
Well, you could theoretically make another webbing attack against him if you have points left.
I do.
How many does it cost you? Should say on the back of your sheet how many it costs you to. Of course, I didn't include your ability to stop. I believe it's 2 points to attempt to subdue him, and then you're going to need to make a webbing check.
Okay.
Which you'll be able to spend a couple more points on if you want to succeed.
Cool. I only have the 4. Is that enough?
Well, yeah. Do you spend? Are you going to spend 2 to get the +2 on the roll, and then spend the other 2 to? Okay.
So.
Give me a roll.
1.
Oh my god.
Oh no, I'm sorry. You needed a 4.
Yeah.
Oh.
The ground's pretty webby.
No. You like. It doesn't necessarily success. It's or a failure. It's not a success. It's just So you shoot webbing at him, but he's starting to bob up and down a bit, so you don't really get it. You web up his feet a little bit more, but nothing to really get in the way of him breaking free.
Oh man.
So I believe that's going to come down to Will. You haven't really. Okay, you passed the gun to him.
I passed him the dart gun.
Cam tried to web him up, and that leaves Jesse.
Okay.
Mama said knock you out.
I mean, to be fair, you have a lot of points of concussive beam
I
left.
do. And now that we've known that you can make it non-lethal.
That's true.
Smack him about a bit.
So remember, you can spend points to increase your roll to hit,
Yes.
and then you can spend 2 per to add +1 to your damage.
But I think it's a good idea to sense trouble right now.
Yes, there's trouble. I'm not even going to make you roll for it.
Right here,
Okay.
River City.
Okay. Yeah, let's concussive beam.
Okay, how many you want to spend to hit?
So what's my
You need a 4
what's
to
my
hit.
motivation for this right now? What am I trying? Am I just trying to hurt him right now?
We're
or
just
what?
trying to keep him from flying away or breaking out of this and murdering us. So ideally, we're going to...
dealing damage be good in this case, or would I just want
Dealing
to hit him?
damage or knock him into the back of the van.
Where's
You don't
he-
die until you hit -12 health in this game, so...
Oh, okay.
Diggity damn.
Where is he in relation to the van? Am I still able to line up a shot for that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
He might hit his head on the roof as he's knocked in.
And
You only need a 4 to hit.
because he's
It's just your straight up roll to hit. Is you
Oh.
always...
wasn't
So...
I- but
You
if I
try.
wanted
You were
trick
trying to
shot
do,
him into the
yeah,
van,
yeah. Or you could just shoot him in the direction of the van and not really care if he gets in
Pray
there
for the
safely
best.
or not.
But again, he's only a suspect. He could just be an ornery asshole right now that we are just taking in.
yeah, I think we should go. What?
I said mad talk.
It all apparently comes down to this: is Jesse playing with his poker chips. It really gives you a tangible sense, though, doesn't it?
It's nice having the
This
chips.
is my
yeah.
thinking sound. You know what? We're gonna go and try to get him in the van.
Okay, you're gonna You're just gonna try and subdue him in the
We're
van.
gonna try and
So you're
knock
gonna
him
need an
into the
8.
van. I should probably just do the 7 because I'm scared of.
Watch him roll a 6 now. Okay, you're gonna throw. You're throwing in 7.
Doing 7.
Okay, give me a roll.
2.
Worth it.
Then you're gonna spend the other 2 points to subdue.
Yes.
Throw him in. Okay. Yeah, you point your finger gun,
Yep.
and there is an explosion of sound and force around him. You've put enough, because you're going for basically like a wide power shot,
Oh yeah.
and you blow shit out of the way. You blow Cam out of the way, and you slam him right back into the back of the truck, where the webbing that's still stuck to him now sticks to the back of the truck.
Yeah.
And he wangs his head inside, and he looks dazed and confused.
Perfect. Just speed along the tranquilizer dart.
Yeah.
So he'll more or less be out of it long enough for the tranquilizer to take effect.
Perfect.
And you guys can see how fast combat can spin out of control in this system when you only have the limited pools of points.
Yes,
Yeah.
it can. That's exciting. Now he's in the back of the van. We lock that sucker up, go through all the necessary reinforcements, and off to the station. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's safe to say that when Jesse's character is going to use his concussion beam, he tends to yell something like "finger bang."
No, I like to think of it as finger beam cannon.
Yes.
I think it's like a special beam cannon effect. That's what I imagine.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
You have
concussion
More
beam.
nerdy, less filthy.
There's
Saying
no
that, I was
extra
referencing,
cosmetic effects to anyone's powers. They all, your use of concussion beam looks the same as every other person's use of concussion beam. The only difference is whether people shoot concussion beams out of their hands or out of their eyes.
Oh, hands all.
Some people are the total cyclops.
Actually, saying that, I was referencing Lanny Pator from Team 4 Star's All the Bridge series of Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh, that's funny.
So, yeah, we'll cut to you guys downtown. You have Red Eagle in an interrogation room.
Hey, hostage negotiator.
Cat.
And it's like this is like your powers interrogation room, where
It's like a bunker.
it is basically like a bunker.
Yeah. It's like nuclear reinforced bunker. In fact, maybe the heightened interrogation room is in the civil defense bunker.
It's
They
an
finally
old
repurposed it.
Fallout shelter. Sure,
Yeah.
we'll go with that.
Yeah.
I mean, you have certain additional legal powers regarding that, just because
It's not quite a black site.
let me put they're actually. Let me put it this way: if you have a certain set of powers, including teleportation, and and X-ray vision, oddly enough. If you ever go to jail, they put you in a medically induced coma for the duration of your sentence because you're too big a flight risk.
Flight risk.
Wow.
Flight, weirdly enough, doesn't count because they could just keep you inside.
Yeah, just put a net over you.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, we take him to the old civil defense bunker, go down, and yeah, it's like a nuclear reinforced place.
There's like a
Faraday cage.
slide across door, and
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Nice.
As we take him in there, there's this old Irish guy just looking at him. May the cat eat him and the cat be eaten by the devil.
What's that from?
Eleanor.
Cool. As we go down, does he have any stuff on him that's exposed?
Well, he has a belt with lots of pouches.
But
You can probably you can probably legally relieve him of it, though.
Yeah. Because it could harm his weapons.
Technically, they have to open it up anyway if you're bringing him in for questions. If you're booking him.
I mean, he is our lead suspect right now. So we're at the very least. But I mean, we just did a sting. We're booking him at least.
Yeah.
He may turn out clean, but we brought him in.
Yeah, he's under arrest for the suspicion of.
You're booking him on on suspicion of murder.
Or at the very least being at the very least we know he's involved.
Yeah.
Or at least we suspect he's involved.
Mm-hmm.
So and
Do you have enough to book him on?
We will.
Bureaucracy 3, do we have enough to book him on?
No. You have enough to keep. You have enough to hold him.
We have enough to hold him and question him, not enough to book him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can take his personal effects, but we can't really do anything.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, you got the Quaid diagram, which the one smoking gun you don't have right now is you weren't able to get him to evidence his sonic power.
Yeah.
If you can prove that he has sonic blast, you have more than enough to book him.
Nice.
Okay.
But at the moment, all you know is that he's super strong and he can fly.
Yeah, and that's not enough.
So
Because super strength wasn't used to kill your burp.
No.
here's a thought. I have kinetic energy dispersal. Do you think we might be able to bait him into using that? Like, sort of goading him into an attack, and then I can just try and, like, negate it?
I'd be more comfortable with that if you had super speed.
I mean, kinetic energy dispersal, it reduces all damage from a single blow to nothing.
But you gotta know the blow's coming. But yeah.
I mean, if I'm going in as a bait, I'm pretty
What's
sure
your
I'm
preparedness
anticipating it.
anyway?
Yeah, what
five.
are the tells for Sonic Blast? Because all powers show up the same.
That's true.
Does his hair glow?
No,
Opens his mouth.
it's a supersonic shriek, basically.
Okay,
Yeah,
Banshee
it opens
style.
the mouth.
Yeah, it produces both force and overall damage. Sorry, I'm just
And-
looking at your kinetic energy. I'm just looking up your
okay, I was
kinetic
just about
energy
to ask
dispersal
that.
power to see if it affects that. I'm gonna suspect it probably doesn't.
That
Because
is
More
unfortunate.
inertia.
Yeah, I was worried about that. I was certainly wanted to clarify before we did that, but
Yeah.
Where are we? The pages in this book are really, really nice, but they have a tendency to stick together.
Oh yeah.
It's also been very humid here lately.
Mm-hmm.
I swear to God, these pages are... Okay. Okay, they're... No. Oh my God, why can't I... This is really bothering me now.
Whoops.
Keep talking.
While
Yeah.
you're looking that up,
Yeah.
I'm actually curious. Cam's possession power, does that allow him to access a heightened person's abilities?
He can command them to use their abilities. However, using possession to force...
Like, we might be able to convict him, but he might...
That's-
his sentencing
Yeah.
would be pretty light.
Okay.
Right.
I figured as much. I was just curious about like the
And we get
concussion
into
beam,
shit.
ice
Okay.
blast, and water blast.
Sorry?
Concussion beam, ice blast, and water blast are the powers that and telekinesis are what it'll negate. And plus, you can just stop bullets.
Oh, so that's not as convenient as we needed.
Yeah, it will not stop the rippling wave of sound.
Well,
No.
we tried. Okay. Well, so much for that plan.
You got him sitting in a holding cell right now. He's sweating under hot lights.
Alright,
The webbing dissolved
Yeah.
eventually.
He's sweating.
Yeah, you got big hot lights on him in the
Of course,
interrogation
of course.
room just to make it more difficult for him. You're looking at him from behind the two-way mirror, and
The TV that's on the camera behind a two-way mirror is super strange.
true enough, yes.
Cool. At some point, whatever brave asshole goes in to like give him a new glass of water, I'm gonna take the old glass of water.
You can't necessarily tell what powers they have.
No. I just want to know if he's under the influence of anything else, how he's metabolizing things. I just want to know things on him.
Oh, you could actually just get that off his belt. You just wick some of the sweat off his belt.
Oh yeah, I guess we took the belt.
You just lick the belt.
What's in the belt?
Lick the belt.
Yeah, and you have to. Here's the thing: they have to empty the belt because it's on his person at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Everything has to be tagged for evidence to be properly returned to him.
Also, it could pose a threat.
Yep.
Right? Could be full of bombs and shit.
Cell phone, digital camera, like chewing gum. He's got a couple protein bars in there.
Piece of chocolate.
Piece of
Little
chocolate, bottle of water, like a couple Kinder eggs kind of thing, and
yeah,
delicious.
Nothing illegal.
Nothing illegal. How greasy are his fingers when he uses his phone?
He wore.
He's got the gloves.
He has gauntlets, so the gauntlets have the.
They've got the touch stuff, and any grease they would have wiped out.
Yeah.
All right.
Just what's on the lock screen.
Just like the.
Just
you know what? It is a picture that someone drew of him on like DeviantArt or something like that.
Oh man, that's awesome.
So he's basically just got a picture of himself in costume on his lock screen.
What a douche. But I'm not gonna lie, if there's fan art of me, I'd probably do that.
If one of you had like technopathy or technokinesis or something like that, which none of you do,
no,
you would 100% have this thing nicked. But
I mean, I do have cryptography too, but that again requires warrants and things we don't really have.
Yeah.
And we could apply for. We just don't want to take the time.
Let's just smack him until he uses his power.
I mean, you're gonna go in there and interrogate him.
Do you really want to take a sonic blast, or what if he uses heat blast? Then what do we do?
Can we review the digital camera? What's the photos on that?
Yeah, digital camera is, it's mostly selfies of him holding up the camera with fans, or pictures that fans took posing with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I highly doubt there's any.
I'll get yelled at.
photos.
Beats me up too.
But again, he might be a narcissist, right? So,
True.
I mean, we've established he's a bit of a narcissist.
There are pictures of him with Stanley. Like, you can definitely prove that he knew the deceased.
Awesome. That was at least worth the time.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we just gotta straight up mind games interrogate him.
Yeah. Alright. So I'm just gonna straight up go in there, bash my hand on the table, and be like, I know you're the silencer.
The who?
He's too good.
Oh my god! I know you're the silencer. The who? Shit, he's too good.
And use some intimidation.
I mean, you have.
Him,
Yep.
I'll try to be like, don't play dumb with us. Everybody's heard it. Anybody in Justice 2016, whatever it is, knows about the silencer at least.
Are you guys like bad cop and bad cop here?
Oh, trust me, they're bad cops.
Is it this time I would like to try flirting with him?
I want my lawyer.
A public defender will be provided for you at such time as one can be contacted.
No.
Oh, you have a specific lawyer?
I want my lawyer. I want Leo Fitzgibbons at Fitzgibbons, Hearts, and Associates.
All right, and what's their telephone number?
He rattles off the number from memory.
Okay. We will make contact. Thank you. Stares at him for a while.
He stares back.
Yeah.
You guys, anyone who has interrogation, this guy is definitely well practiced at at sitting in a cell.
Yeah. What do we know about these lawyers?
They're a high-end law firm.
High-end law firm.
Okay. You have no idea how this dude is paying for any of that, but he didn't even have photo ID in his belt, like no wallet. No.
He probably keeps them on retainer. Interesting.
Like, you literally, when you call them up, you tell them that you have Red Eagle down here, and
yeah. Well, Well, we're going to drag our feet on that.
Oh yeah.
We're going to do it, but as slowly as legally allowed. Which actually isn't that slow.
No, it's actually quite fast.
Yeah. Speaking of fast, when we bring him in, is he willing to submit for fingerprints?
No.
Of course not.
He's not willing to take off his gloves. He's not willing to
He's
take
not
off...
willing to do anything.
No, he won't even take off the mask.
Yeah, that's okay. Cool.
Let's just take off his mask.
um,
Let's just do it.
yeah, we didn't find any trace or anything.
Yeah.
We have nothing. Let's just.
We really don't have anything.
I mean,
Well, no,
you
we
could try.
have
You
a bunch
could
of
try
skills
and
we can
confront
really
him
use.
from the files. Certainly. I mean, Shane, you know this. I mean, in your time as a homicide investigator, you have presented people with the impression that you've had a lot more evidence than what you actually have.
Standard police procedure.
Yeah.
You could always literally produce the files.
Preparedness?
And just put them on the table and see if that rattles him at all.
Yeah. And it has the added benefit that we can, while we're interrogating him, we can switch tactics and arrange surveillance on him.
Yeah.
Right? Because now we're like, we have what you're after. You better
Well,
go.
let me put it. Let me put it
this.
this way: you're in the climactic portion of this episode.
Yeah.
We are reaching the end of our time for this evening. If you aren't able to get a confession out of him soon, his lawyer's going to show up and he's going to walk.
Yeah.
And at that point, you may never see him again.
Somebody better interrogate this guy, otherwise Richardson's going to.
I mean, I don't really have anything for this. I have no interrogation, mind you.
You have interrogation, Shane.
I do. Oh.
Barely.
You have reassuring as well. You have streetwise.
Yeah.
You also have intimidation. I mean, basically, it's between you and Cam at this point.
Oh, boy. I'll give it a shot.
Okay. I mean, you could also always just suggest that Stanley fingered him specifically as the silencer.
Okay.
So you're gonna go with like producing those files then and try to see if you can get a stir out of them?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to.
You print off the files and...
Yeah.
Yeah. And while they're doing that, I'm going to research the hell out of Red Eagle.
Okay.
Every single thing that's ever come about him anywhere in the world ever.
His current name that he is listed on their wiki as does reside in Edmonton. He does not exist past like a year and a half ago.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I'm just saying I'm doing that while
Yep.
this is happening.
You put in his name. Well, you put in his face into the facial recognition. It's going to take some time to run.
Especially because he's got a domino mask.
Well, no, I'm assuming you probably there's probably like programs to filter out
there are.
small
It
masks,
just takes
especially.
a little longer.
Well, no, it's probably more
yes, now it's
useful
probably
now
more common.
because there are the people who do throw on masks and attempt to become superheroes and supervillains.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I'm going to go in there. I'm going to go in there with the stack of files. I'm just going to set them down somewhat loudly. I'm not going to like slam them down. I'm just going to kind of like drop them.
More just to emphasize how big they are.
Pretty much. And I'm just going to sit down across the table. So, why the domino mask anyway? I mean, it's not really any more effective than, say, a pair of glasses.
Part of the look.
Part of the look. Okay. What look are you exactly going for, if I may ask?
Well, let's see here. I've got a domino mask on. I'm wearing spandex. I fly around patrolling for crime. I'm obviously dressed as a circus clown.
Your words, not mine. Anyway, what do you know about a Stanley McDougal?
Guy comes around the club sometimes. He's a groupie.
You don't know him past that at all?
I think I snapped a couple pictures with him in the past. Comes in, works out.
So, visited him at his apartment?
Why would I do that? I don't go visit groupies. Unless they're hot.
Help me out here, guys. I'm at the point now where I'm just trying to Jeff Goldblum my way through this.
Well, you could also bring up the files.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Well, as it turns out, we have files here that connect him to you in a far less flattering way.
Is that so?
Yes. You see, Stanley McDougal is dead, and we have evidence that you killed him.
What kind of evidence is that?
Evidence that suggests that somebody with your exact power set is responsible for his death.
Really? I'm sure my lawyer would like to see that evidence.
I'm sure he would.
And what power set is this exactly?
The kind that would allow someone to get past front door security by flying up to his window. The kind that would allow super strength to overpower someone, and the kind that would allow someone to blast the victim out that window and onto a van.
That's an interesting supposition. I mean, I can shoot blasts of heat, but they don't have any kind of concussive force to them.
Interesting.
Was he burned?
Well, how familiar are you with the Quaid diagram?
Everybody's familiar with the Quaid diagram.
So then you must know that somebody with heat blast could very easily also have a sonic blast as well.
Do you have proof that I have a sonic blast?
It would be easy enough to gain that proof.
While he's interrogating him, the computer pings back.
Yeah.
So you do have a name.
Mm-hmm.
Vasily Vaklavov. And there is a ping that he disappeared from the Russian consulate staff in Ottawa about 5 years ago.
Around the time the silencer began to show up. Excellent. What was that last name again?
Vaklavov?
Vaklavov. Cool. So, having got this...
Do you just want to, text Shane's character this?
Oh, no, I got a more dramatic thing. Richardson's going to kind of come in with, fresh water for everybody. In, beautifully arranged and, nice, clean, perfect. Lemon on the side, because somebody may want that. Comes in, closes the door behind him, and, goes through the whole airlock thing. Mr. Vaklavov, water? Does he look?
He makes a stability check.
Yep. Come on, buddy.
He rolls a 1.
Yes! Yes!
He looks over at you.
Boom. Your water. Vasily.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And that's, of course, recorded because the whole room is being recorded. Why would he look? Why would he look? I hope everything's going well.
He just stays silent.
Mm-hmm. Now, I mean, at this point, I imagine the detective here has worked things out, and you're going to fully confess to get a much lighter sentence.
You guys are going to need to play a bit more into this.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I give away? I'm kind of new to the whole interrogation process thing. I may have tipped our hand that we know exactly who you are, and where you're from, and
the fact that the Russian government's still interested in it.
And I mean, the FDK really wants you quite badly.
Oh, come on, Amos. Don't you know how important a superhero secret identity is?
Well, I know, but I figured, I mean, the Russians don't play with that sort of thing. When Mr. Putin gets his hands on him, it's...
No, the Russians take their superheroes a lot more seriously. They've got werebears with miniguns, for God's sake.
As a matter of fact, they do.
No, they don't in this setting, but okay.
There's at least
legends.
I mean,
They should at least want them.
he's very fortunate that the Mounties didn't get him first. Of course, I mean, we can just call them up and have them take you, and then it's a much faster extradition process. Municipal police, there's much more paperwork, and we'd probably handle this all locally.
We're going to fade out on that. You got him. Like,
Right.
you have got him at this point. You will get a confession before his lawyer even arrives.
Cool.
Jackpot.
Well done.
Awesome.
Well done.
So that is a successful caller for the Edmonton SCIU. That is a high-profile caller. You caught a infamous Russian hitman as the lead officer. The credit does go to Shane on his file.
Fair enough.
Awesome.
It's up to him whether or not he credits the rest of his team.
Oh, of course.
Will they?
Considering they did most of the work.
Can
I'll be perfectly honest, I was kind of useless this whole time.
You just
No.
show awareness.
No.
Yeah.
Did a lot of investigation.
You actually had the most useful investigative power in the game for
And the most
yeah,
useless combat powers of the game.
But we hardly fought anything, man. This is very bloodless, except for that one cop who got busted up.
May he rest in peace.
he's
Yeah.
he's
gonna
he's
convalesce.
alive.
Alive.
he'll
It's,
just,
you know-
he'll have a couple casts for a while, and he
Well,
may
and a hell of a story.
he may never look you guys in the eye again.
Yeah, his confidence is dead.
But he's gonna his cover is solid now.
He's gonna retire, have a nice desk job, and hopefully never have to do anything.
Yeah, no.
Incidentally, and Richardson's continual applications to not have to do field work. Has this been like, as a reward, we'll put you back in archives, or you're not as bad at this as we thought, or as much as you think?
Very
so-
definitely option B.
Damn it! Damn it! Richardson is
It's
so
the problem
pissed.
where they have you on tape walking in and just like nonchalantly breaking this guy down with information.
Oh, the power of nerddom. No.
And you gave a pointed investigation. Good job.
So that's going to more or less bring things to a close. That's the moment when it just says executive producer Dick Wolf and then fades into the closing credits song.
Nice.
Do 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 do. So this has been the last game of Mutant City Blues, run by us, the Edmonton crew of Terrible Warriors. It's Mutant City Blues by Pelgrane Press. You can check them out online. You can check them out on Twitter. Probably check them out on Facebook. And I'm Derek. If you are a Patreon subscriber, head over to our Patreon page. Check out the debrief for this episode. If not, consider signing up. Even $1 a month makes a big difference towards us being able to afford the costs of bringing everyone together and my feeding them all coffee, donuts, and literally everything edible in my fridge. Pete, we learned today that they like grapes. We'll save that for the debrief. So thanks very much for listening. I'm Derek the Bard from Chasing the Muse. I've been your games master for these last 4 episodes. To my left is our newest player, the Terrible Warriors.
Jesse Krepakevich.
Shane Fitzgerald.
Will Mitchell.
Cameron Dunn.
Be seeing you.
New episodes of Terrible Warriors comes out every Monday and Thursday. And that's it for Mutant City Blues, but that's not all we recorded. We've brought back the debrief episode, and it's available right now as a reward to our Patreon supporters. If you decide you'd like to spend $5 or more each month in support of the show, you'll have access to the debrief episode as soon as each campaign ends. We'll also be releasing, for those Patreon supporters, the entire campaign as one downloadable file and include a random collection of character sheets, album art, any other material we can think of, and that we've managed to preserve and are able to share with you. And today is September 29th, which means you have one more day to head over to our Patreon page and sign up as a supporter to participate in our September polls to decide which games we'll be recording in October. My own personal poll is currently tied between Mouse Guard and Mutants in Orbit, so your vote could help tip the scales towards whatever game you'd like me to play. We're doing this because if you're one of our Patreon supporters, then you're one of the Terrible Warriors. You've chosen to be a part of the process. We'd like to use that platform to bring you into our world and show you how we do things. We hope we don't shadow the mystery too hard. Try not to be too disappointed. On Monday, we return for one last time to Steve Saylor's Matrix Extraction. It's the final episode in his Matrix RPG trilogy, and I know it sounds like a clickbait title, but you really won't believe how it ends. We've also got more Ghostbuster episodes, brand new episodes recorded in the realms of Ravenloft, and the Edmonton crew will be playing Deadlands and the Suicide Squad, and for all the updates on our upcoming campaigns, keep your eyes on our Twitter account at Dice Warriors and our release schedule page at terriblewarriors.com. Today's Terrible Warriors were Derek, Burrow, Jesse, Krepakevich, Will, Mitchell, Shane, Fitzgerald, and Cameron Dunn. Music by Kevin MacLeod, album art by Steve Saylor, audio production by Justin Eacock, and until we meet again, thank you for sharing, thank you for liking, thank you for reviewing, thank you for supporting the Terrible Warriors.